Hi, I am Diane Marquillo and I am from Bitlit Alpha 2A. So, I will be presenting the biography of a prominent Filipino heroes and the Philippines. So, the objectives is to identify who are the prominent Filipino heroes and what are their significant contribution that makes them prominent or heroes of the country. So, let us know the lives and significant contributions of our great Filipino heroes of our country. So, let's start first with Dr. Jose Rizal, the pride of Malay race and a national hero. Jose Rizal, a distinguished novelist, poet musician, linguist, statesman, and a national hero. Jose Rizal was born in Calamba, Laguna, in the Philippines in June of 1861 and was named Jose Portasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Villalonga. Jose's family lived on a rented property that was owned by a religious order from Dominica, which made them a family of wealthy farmers. He finished medicine and a well-known linguistic in different languages, but the most achievements that Rizal accomplished was the time of propaganda movement. He was an active Filipino to seek for the reform of his country during Spanish government through his novel Noli Me Tangere in 1887 and the El Filibusterismo in 1891. These books brought out the cruelty, especially to his countrymen. It spread out to the whole world about the Spanish tyranny. This led for the sudden death of Rizal. Rizal, he was sentenced to death on December 31, 1896 at the Bagong Bayan, now popular as Luneta Park. A Filipino who loved so much his countrymen and his motherland fighting for a cause, especially the independence of being a free man on earth. Truly, we can say that Dr. Jose Rizal is the pride of the Malay race. And next is Andres Bonifacio. He is the father of the revolution. He is the second famous hero of our race, no? And he is also the founder of the Katipunan. The hero of the uprising Balintawak in 1896, born in Tondo, Manila on November 30, 1863. He had great hopes and beliefs that his countrymen could maintain a free government. Because of this, he organized the Katipunan in Balintawak. He convinced Emilio Jacinto, the brain of revolution, to help him. When the secret of Katipunan was exposed, Bonifacio and his men went to Balintawak. And in August 26, the Katipunan and their brave leader Bonifacio tore their poll taxes and waved their red flag as a sign of beginning of the revolt against the Spaniards. There was a misunderstanding when meeting was held at Tijeros, Malabon in 1877. Bonifacio formed a new government. The Spaniards heard about the organization. Later, Bonifacio was arrested and tried by the court of war. He and his brother Procopio were sentenced to be shot at Buntis Mountain on May 10, 1897. Andres Bonifacio's legacy to his mother country was democracy. He left us the lessons we derived from his Decalogue. And first is A, believe in one God wholeheartedly, and B, love your country and your countrymen. C, it is an honor to die if cause is saving the country from slavery. D, one's desire is obtained by possessing coldness of heart. E, take care of the secret of the Katipunan just as you take care of your own honor. And lastly, save one when is in danger. Bonifacio loved his native land and his people. His favorite saying is liberty or death. The first revolt began in Balintawak on August 26, 1896. The Filipinos were shouting, "Long live the Philippine Republic." And next, Emilio Aguinaldo. He is the head of the first Philippine Republic. Emilio Aguinaldo was born in Cavite on March 31, 1869. He won distinction for his military exploits and emerged as the recognized leader of his people, who elevated him to presidency of the first Christian republic in Asia. During the revolution in 1876, he joined the movement as a lieutenant under General Baltimore Aguinaldo. He rose to the rank of general in a few months. No? He then conducted a campaign against the Spaniards until the Pact of Biography was signed in December 1897. When Manila surrendered to the American on August 13, 1878, Aguinaldo organized his provincial government at Bacoor, Cavite. And then later, he transferred the seat of government to Malolos, Bulacan, where the Philippine Republic was proclaimed with Emilio Aguinaldo as president. No? The Treaty of Paris was signed on December 1, 1898, no? Ceding the Philippines to the United States. And in February 1899, Aguinaldo broke relations with America. This war lasted until Aguinaldo surrendered. No? Then he returned to Cavite to elevate his time in agriculture. Next is si Apolinario Mabini, no? The sublime paralytic, the advisor of the Philippine Revolution. So, he is a man of sublime ideals. That was Apolinario Mabini. No? Sought the freedom of our country. He was a courageous patriot, a sagacious philosopher, and a learned statesman. No? His paralysis did not hinder him from working hard to gain the country's independence. No? Apolinario Mabini was born on a poor family on July 23 in 1864. His father was Inocencio Mabini, a barangay captain, and his mother was Ginesha Maranan, a daughter of a village teacher. During his early age, Mabini loved to study. No, he preferred reading books than playing. No, he excelled in their little barrio school. No, because of poverty, Mabini did odd jobs to help his parents send him to school. He finished law at University of Santo Tomas. Mabini became paralyzed in 1896. When Emilio Aguinaldo heard of Mabini's brilliant mind, he appointed Mabini as his chief advisor. Since then, the paralyzed Mabini was cured. Next is Sultan Dipatuan Kudarat, no? A brave Muslim leader in Maguindanao. Sultan Kudarat was known for his bravery and a great leader in the part of Mindanao in 1619 to 1671. No? The Muslim Filipino in Mindanao were not yet under the Spaniards during 1619 to 1671. It was Sultan Kudarat who kept the unity of the Filipino Muslims in that part of the Philippines. No? During the 3 decades, the Filipino Muslim fought against the tyranny of the invaders. The strong leadership of Sultan Kudarat brought to his people to fight against the Spaniards. No? And Kudarat did not surrender to the Spanish. No? Kudarat did not surrender to the Spanish authorities until his death on 1672. To acknowledge his greater work, the government declared some parts of Mindanao to be named after him. No? Now, there was a place in Mindanao called Sultan Kudarat, no? A province near Cotabato, Isulan, and Coronadal South, Cotabato. Next is Juan Luna. No? He is a great Filipino painter. No? Prize winner in Europe for his paintings. For his paintings, those are the Death of Cleopatra, the Blood Compact, and the Spolario. Juan Luna was born in Badoc, Ilocos Norte on October 23, 1857. During his student days, he showed good interest in paintings. No? In 1875, he obtained his certificate as a pilot at the age of 17. No? He traveled in Spain in 1877 to become a specialist in the art of designing. No? He entered Escuela de Bellas Artes in Madrid. No? Because of his exceptional ability in paintings, he was chosen by the Philippine government to become pensionado in Europe. He was given a pension of 600 pesos a year, no? For about 4 years. No? But the Philippine government want him to submit at least some paintings to be used and to adorn the building of the government. Next slide. Then, there were many paintings created by Juan Luna. Among them were ang Espanya sa Pilipinas, ang Aliping Bulag, ang Labanan sa Lipanto, ang Mistisa, and others which until now many believe cannot be surpassed. And in 1891, he returned to the Philippines, and in 1896, he was captured and imprisoned at Fort Santiago by the Spaniards who suspected that he had something to do with the Katipunan together with his brother Antonio Luna. No? In 1897, he was released again. Again, he went to Spain to work for the release of his brother Antonio. Then after traveling in the different countries of the East, he got sick. This brought him to his grave on December 7, 1899. In honor of Juan Luna, a great painter and a patriot, one big city street in Manila and a school were named after him. So, next heroes is si Melchora Aquino. A well-known as Tandang Sora, no? She is considered the mother of the Philippine Revolution. So, apin po niya siya sa revolution na ino. Next, she was known as Tandang Sora in the Philippine history because when the war broke out, led by Andres Bonifacio in 1896, she was already old na. No? At the age of 84, rejoined pa siya sa revolution. No? Tandang Sora used to keep a little store where she sold various goods in a small foods place in Balintawak, Quezon City. Next slide. In August 1896, came the cruel Spaniards. No? They became more strong and radical, for they heard that Bonifacio's men were going to revolt. You know? Hundreds of men in the city of Manila were captured and being forced to reveal the secret of the Katipunan. No? And they were severely punished. No? And many of them were hanged, and still others were half dead na. No? And some is kanang naka-escape na sila sa forest sa Balintawak. And in the person of Tandang Sora, na-meet nila si Angel na who took care of everyone of them, and everyone had managed to escape and come to Tandang Sora was taken of by her offer and services in her little store. No? Even women and children who came for her help in Tandang Sora's place, she offered her kindness services. Next slide. The Spaniards learned about her generous services. Instantly, the cruel Spaniards arrested and captured her. Took sa Tandang Sora to Manila and later exiled to Marianas Island. No? The old Tandang Sora come back when the Philippines was already in the hands of the Americans na. No? She was already very old na yun and had no more property. Wala siya mga property. No? She lived poor and namatay siya nga poor gihapon. No? And Filipinos now remembered the courageous woman in the person of Tandang Sora, no? Who once offered her love for her countrymen and her motherland. No? And Tandang Sora died on March 2, 1949. 1919 rather. So, lastly, is si Gabriela Silang, no? She was the revolutionary woman general. Next slide. Gabriela Silang was the wife of Diego Silang, no? A revolutionary leader of Ilocos, no? And captured and killed by the Spaniards, no? After the death of her husband, the Spanish army invaded the camp and got all firearms, ammunitions, important documents that Diego Silang left. Next is Gabriela Silang and the rest of her troops continued to fight against the Spaniards, but the Filipinos' insufficient arms bring them to lose the fight. No? Gabriela Silang was captured in the mountains of Abra, and the Spaniards bring her and the remaining companions to Ilocos. She was sentenced to die, and the rest of her revolutionary troops on September 20, 1763 in Vigan, Ilocos. And that's all. So we know na who are the prominent heroes sa ato ang country, no, and their significant contributions, no, that makes them prominent or heroes sa ato ang country. So that's the end of the slide, and thank you for listening.